Crashing ratings, polish on the turd. The whole country's overlooking her. They hit that berg. Next thing you heard, ratings got low, 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 low. It's happening again at CNN. How many times can you set record low ratings? How many times is this going to happen? Is this a competition that no one else knows about? Maybe CNN is jealous of our fearless leader, John Biden. Maybe CNN is competing to be honored at the second annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards later this year. I don't know how else to explain it. This almost seems intentional. If you're a cable news network, this should be the easiest time to draw ratings. The potential stories are endless. There's so much news right now, I can't keep up with it. I've got a backlog full of topics. I'm having to prioritize. I'm having to determine which topics are most relevant. This should be so simple for CNN. You have the trial of Donald Trump. Orange man bad. You have the Trumper trial in New York City. I believe there's also another case in Atlanta. I'm not sure what the hell's going on right now with that case. I don't even know the charges. The most interesting thing about that case is that doofus prosecutor who chooses to identify as a fanny. Over the last few years, I've seen a lot of unique identifications, but calling yourself a boodle, that's got to qualify you for most unique at the woke beauty pageant. Speaking of unique names, there's the big story between Doodle and Cassie. Now, to their credit, CNN tried to boost ratings by covering that story. Of course, due to their abundance of incompetence, the network decided to book Cameron as their expert panelist. The segment continued the long tradition at CNN of huge embarrassing failure. But that failure was quickly forgotten when the latest ratings were released this afternoon. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If there's a topic that you want me to cover, shoot me an email, btlkc84@gmail.com. Right now, most cable news networks, they are seeing an increase in viewership. Last week, Fox News averaged 2 million viewers in prime time. Chris Cuomo, hey, it's me, Chrissy C. Chris Cuomo, he has become the #1 show at some dump called News Nation. He's not pulling anywhere close to the 1 million viewers predicted a couple of years ago, but Chrissy, he's coming in with a cool 135,000. At News Nation, that's called success. MSNBC, they are averaging 1.1 million in prime time. Both Fox and MSNBC, they are performing well in the key 25 to 54 demo. But there's a huge difference. Huge difference between Fox News, MSNBC, and CNN. Hell, there's a huge difference between CNN and News Nation. And no, I'm not talking about their ratings. The difference between CNN and just about every other network in cable news, those other networks, they have stars. The only time executives at CNN see stars is when they walk out on the balcony at CNN Tower and look directly into the night sky. This network is so desperate for star power, Bill Maher, he's got the second most watched show at CNN. He don't even work there. CNN is literally airing reruns of Bill Maher on HBO, and it's outdrawing every other show on this Titanic. The solution? Well, if there's still a solution. At this point, CNN might be damaged beyond repair, but the solution was abundantly clear 2 or 3 years ago. If you want to compete, you've got to have stars. This is why I said the other day it was a mistake for CNN to fire Don Lemon. Donnie might be an insufferable wannabe diva, but at least he has mainstream recognition. At least he generates interest. CNN doesn't have a single woke welfare collector on their payroll capable of generating interest. But before we get to CNN's latest ratings failure, let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Angelic Imports. Me personally, I've never been a big eater of candy. I don't have a sweet tooth. Every once in a while, I'll have a craving for something like chocolate donuts. When I get there, I'll buy a dozen of them, and I'm finished eating after I eat one. I've just never been big into sweets, but my sweet tooth, it developed with a vengeance once I discovered Angelic Imports. Had a super busy afternoon this afternoon, didn't have time for lunch. The Gouffre chocolate from Angelic Imports, that was my lunch today. I cannot put that stuff down. The Gouffre from Angelic Imports comes directly from the French, Swiss, and German border areas. Father's Day, right around the corner. My dad's always loved candy, so this year I'm getting him a box of Gouffre Golden Secrets. For less than $20, Pops, he will have enough chocolate to snack on for an entire month. The Gouffre chocolate from Angelic Imports. It's the perfect gift for high school and college graduations, wedding anniversaries, or if you just feel like spoiling yourself. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code Behind the Line to receive 10% off your first purchase with Angelic Imports. Last week, things went from bad to worse at CNN. Literally. Ratings went from almost nothing to nothing. I mean, even the WNBA has managed to stumble across a superstar. Even the WNBA is managing to draw ratings. Last week, CNN averaged 494,000 viewers in prime time. That is their lowest number since 1991. Let me put that number in perspective for you. CNN is no longer competing with Fox News and MSNBC. Those days are long gone. They're probably more concerned with Eric the Bowler at Newsmax than they are with CNN. With ratings like this, CNN is now competing with MTV. Well, Casey, I didn't know MTV was still on the air. Yeah, most people don't. It seems like MTV has been out of the television business for years now. MTV only produces a handful of shows. Teen Mom, which should have been canceled 10 years ago. MTV's been following these teen moms around for so long, they have become grandmothers. They produce new episodes of Catfish, which also should have been canceled years ago. I think Catfish is still hosted by the same dude, Naive or Nev or who cares? It doesn't matter what his name is. That show has been boring. There's only so many times you can watch an aspiring Lizzo tell Trailer Park Bart that she looks like Megan Fox. Same story every episode. Bart gets all excited. He thinks that he's in love with Megan Fox, even though he has more toes than teeth. Naive tracks her down, which is incredibly easy when you're the size of the Lizzo, kind of hard to hide. Bart ends up being disappointed, and the episode ends with Bart going to the dentist to get another root canal. Same shit every episode. The other show still being produced by MTV, Jersey Shore. Now, the cast of Jersey Shore, they were super famous 15 years ago. Now, ratings have gotten so low, Jersey Shore, they are competing with CNN. That's how far MTV has fallen. That's how far CNN has fallen. Both networks are now competing with each other. CNN is failing miserably. CNN is being left behind because they are stuck living in the past. This is not the 1990s where you can have Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw reading the news with some bland, monotone demeanor. There's too much competition for viewers. You are no longer competing with just television. CNN now has to compete with guys like me on YouTube, people with the ability to make the news entertaining. That's the key word here, entertaining. You have got to have people at the network who not only have charisma, they also need intelligence along with the ability to entertain your audience. I consistently criticize the ladies of Lucifer at MSNBC, the wicked weave of the woke Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, Larry O'Connell, Chris Hayes, who looks like the lead accountant at Hayes & Hayes. MSNBC might have a lineup full of insufferable assholes, but at least they're entertaining. I can't think of a single instance where I have agreed with Joy Reid. But you know what? When I'm disagreeing with Joy Reid, at least I'm entertained. Rachel Maddow is a proven liar, but at least she's an entertaining liar. CNN doesn't have people like that. Seriously. Seriously. Give me one entertaining quality about Kaitlan Collins. Katie Roo! Katie Roo! Roo views herself as a serious journalist, which is great. It's great. That's fine. But that does not work in primetime cable news. If you want to be a serious journalist, be a White House correspondent. Kaitlan Collins could not entertain a tiger if she had a steak hanging from her mouth. Listen to this primetime lineup at CNN. Katie Roo Collins, Andy Cooper, Abby Phillip, Laura Coates. The night starts with Roo producing the turd. Andy seasons it, Abby grills it, and Laura Coates, she hits it with a fresh coat of polish. As appealing as it looks to the naked eye, no one watches it. There's not a single person in the primetime lineup at CNN who is capable of entertaining an audience. And look, the daytime lineup, it's not any better. For reasons unknown, the retirement home opens their gates every afternoon and temporarily releases Wolf Blitzer to the loving care provided at CNN. Woof, woof, woof. Casey Hunt, John Berman, who can't be related to Chris Berman because Chris Berman's actually entertaining. Kate Boudin? Kate Baldwin? Someone named Sarah Sidner? They're on CNN in the morning. Who in the hell are these people? It looks like the employee roster at Red Lobster. From 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon tomorrow, CNN, they are airing nonstop coverage of the painfully boring trial of Donald Trump. Why? Because Trump is the only star capable of drawing ratings at this dump. Coverage of the trial, it's followed by Jake the Bongo Tapper. Is it any wonder why CNN is struggling? Instead of going out and recruiting actual stars, CNN, they have come up with a brilliant strategy to boost ratings in their daily lineup. They are giving a full hour to Jim Acosta. Why? I would rather watch doctors at Woke Memorial apply Preparation H to the Bruce Caboose than I would watch Jim Costa. What the hell is going on here? I mean, the prognosis is simple. CNN is in a business where star power, that is not a recommendation, star power is a requirement. And CNN does not have any stars. It's that simple. Been that way for the last 2 or 3 years. And for reasons unknown, CNN simply refuses to address the problem. But give me your thoughts on this. CNN manages to tank ratings even further, drawing their lowest number since the early 90s. At this point, I don't even know if a lineup full of stars in prime time could save CNN. Damage has already been done. Not only do they lack stars, they also lack credibility. Is it over? Is it over? 5 years from now, will we be remembering CNN instead of not watching CNN? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.